So yo, it's Capo Lee. This is the Turning Point Podcast with Shay at Levi's. You're done now.
Hi everyone, I'm Shady and this is the Turning Point Podcast here at Levi's, and today I'm here with the one and only legend in the scene, Capo Lee.
Yo, what's going
Jeez, I felt like I should have buttons to
What?
go. Yeah. Thank you for being here today
on? Of course.
because I know you're very busy.
Kinda.
I feel like most people in creative worlds are always busy because everyone's doing like 500 jobs at the same time.
There's usually a million things to do at once.
Literally.
Most times.
So I think people mostly know you as an artist. I've experienced personally walking down the road with you and having to stop like 23 times for people going, is that Capo Lee? Is that Capo Lee? And saying hello. But other than people that know you as doing music, do you want to tell us a little bit about the other stuff you do as well?
So yeah, aside from music, I do like a lot of youth work, obviously, as you know. A lot of I project manage youth projects around the UK. We run like free studio time, put on events. You know what when people ask me about like the stuff I do in like youth work, I never know what to say because the list is so mad. So like when you have a list of things to say, like my brain just goes
Does it go blank?
because it actually goes blank. But yeah, we put on events. We provide studio time. We've done short films, hip hop theatre, one-to-one mentoring, done work in schools. Like literally, I feel like I've covered nearly all aspects of it, kind of.
Right. And also you do football stuff.
Yeah. So I've done a bit of football coaching, not as much right now because been busy doing a lot of other things. But yeah, done football coaching as well.
Because I think a lot of people like know you as you have a really heavy involvement with Chelsea Football Club. And I think people know you a lot, like associated with football and with Chelsea, and see you as kind of like a figure in UK football. But how do you describe the work you do within football? Because I feel like it's a really unique position.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're not a footballer.
Yeah.
But you do music.
I should have been.
Okay, we'll get into that. Don't want to hear about knee injuries. Joking.
I had a back one still.
But yeah, no. How do you describe your work within football?
Well, when I have done work with Chelsea, the work I've done with them, like, so the shoot I done with them recently for the kit launch 2022, when I saw my name down on a piece of paper, it had me down as influencer.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that term as well.
So it was like, they sectioned us for a sec. They were like, okay, influencers here.
Right.
And then it was like, players here. So,
okay.
But me personally, I've never looked at myself as like an influencer.
Okay.
So that's maybe what they might have me down as. But I've done a few different things. So I've done, obviously, as a lot of people might know, I've done music for them. So I've done a song for the kit launch a couple years ago. But then I've appeared in adverts and stuff and done photo shoots, and so it's a bit of everything, really.
Yeah, because your face currently is in the stadium.
Yeah,
right?
There's light flex. There's if you walk into Chelsea Stadium, go straight, and on your left hand side there's a billboard of me. So if you want to go and take a picture next to it and send it to me,
I love
feel
that.
free.
How do you actually cope with, because I've personally never been on a billboard in my life, but
you've been graffitied onto a wall in Shoreditch though. That's
being graffiti.
It's near enough the same thing.
Being graffitied on a wall is different.
That's more because somebody took time and they spray painted your face on a wall.
Okay.
So they done your eyebrows.
That is so funny.
And your lips. So that's trust.
Okay, thank you. But we're talking about you.
Okay.
So I was going to say, you've been on billboards for your music.
Yeah.
Because you, I remember I saw your post where was that for North Face?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so you've had that. You've been on billboards in Nike Town.
North Face, the EP, not the brand.
Yeah, North Face, the EP. North Face.
Yeah.
Which is how I say North anyway. If you're from North London, you say North anyway.
Yeah.
But you are from, obviously I know you, and you are very humble and very shy. So how do you cope with seeing your face on billboards? Basically, being an introverted rapper is difficult. How do you cope? Like, what does it feel like when you see it? Honestly.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll be honest with you, because I'm not really a guy I don't need like my face like all over everything all the time, or I don't need like all the attention. So sometimes when I do see like my face on billboards and stuff, I get a bit overwhelmed a little bit. Like,
okay,
obviously I'm happy, but I don't know. I get a bit. I don't know. It's a lot sometimes for me. Maybe I don't know if other people are like that, but I feel like sometimes when things happen where they're grand things and everyone's making a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of.
You wanna be the Homer Simpson meme.
So like if I walk into a room and for example everyone's like Capo, and they start making a big deal, it kind of makes me.
You get uncomfortable.
More. Yeah. So I feel like I just like normal things. So for example, okay, so we done the North Face EP and there was a big billboard in, for example, they were all over London, but there was one in Camden. And then I feel like if we was just in the area,
right,
and we said, okay, let's go and check it out, just on a casual one, cool. But I feel like if a big thing was made where all of us grouped together and we was gonna go and look at this big billboard for me, and everyone's gonna take, I get a bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do you think that like overwhelmness, like what do you think it comes from? Have you always been like that since you're little? Because there's some kids, they love attention, they love performing, they're like, I wanted to be a rapper when I was 2 years old. Like, how were you quite a quiet?
Yeah, so like, I've never really been like the loudest person in any group. So if there's like a massive group, obviously when I speak, obviously people pay attention and they listen, but I'm not the most loudest person, so you won't hear my voice over everybody else's. And it's been like that since I was young as well. I've always been kind of shy, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why a lot of like my friends and family are surprised that I do music. Okay. With the personality I have, and people are surprised that I can actually go and perform on stage, you know what I'm saying?
Because I was going to ask you, have you felt like you were always more of like an observer?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. So if I do enter a room, before I even start making noise, and I always what's going on. And
so I was gonna ask you, do you think that being shy or not kind of entering as the loudest person in the room, do you think that as someone who wants to be an artist and wants to be in the limelight, do you think that affects the level of success? Do you think it's a personality trait that's quite important to have?
I feel like in certain situations it may have held me back a little bit, because when at events and stuff and people network and they they're more like outgoing and things like that, I'm not really like that as such. So even though I do know a lot of people like in the industry, don't get me wrong, but I feel like maybe a little bit it might have been situations where I don't know, I might have maybe I could have took that extra step and done something, and I kind of might have shied away from it a little bit. But a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit.
Yeah, because obviously there are loads of people that are introverted and shy and they want to do music, But for me, it's so uncomfortable because I've never been. My intention has never been to be the biggest networker. I did used to go to events and organically chat to people and stuff, but I find it really uncomfortable when I go to certain events, or if I do go into something with music industry people, and I just see them like friending up everyone and vibes and it just makes me so uncomfortable because I'm like, I can see that you're kind of being extra. And I wonder if they all know that, or if they all see through it, or if they're all playing a game. I don't.
A lot, not everyone. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of the time there's a lot of industry games. Like I've seen people go to places that they don't actually want to be at, but they've gone to places just to get their picture and go.
Just to work the room.
Literally, I've seen people go.
Right.
I've seen somebody enter an event, get a picture and go. I've seen it. And I've said to myself, let me see when this gets uploaded. So the next day I've gone onto their page and it's there. Had a lovely time. Thank you for inviting me. I'm like, bro.
Right.
Come on.
I know. So I'm just like, is this the game? Like I can't
I guess
play it.
It's a game, but it's not a game I play.
Right. It's mad uncomfortable. Like.
Trust.
But you know, if each to their own, if they're doing their thing, you know.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so there's so much I do want to get into and ask you about. Obviously, my podcast is about turning points of life, and I feel like every single one of us, when we think of our life, when we want to introduce ourselves, or we think of our life story, there's certain points that are quite prominent in our lives, and if that didn't happen, it would not lead you to your next move, basically. And I'm for some weird reason, I'm really fascinated and obsessed with what those moments are for people. So if we go early on, what do you think one of your earliest turning points were to kind of put you in whatever situation you ended up in that affected your life initially? And you can take a minute like to honestly think about it.
I feel like I feel like I had a few when I was younger. So till I was about 4, I lived at my grandma's house. So I lived with my grandma. And
big up grandmas.
Trust me, big up grandmas and granddads.
Yeah,
the OGs. So yeah, I was there for a while till I was about 4, and that was a very peaceful upbringing. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a lot more settled and a lot more routine and structure, if you know what I'm saying. So for example, my grandma, she wakes up every day at 5:30, 6 a.m. She's got a bowl of cornflakes with a cut in half grapefruit and a cup of hot water. You know what I'm saying?
Her routine.
Yeah. And then my granddad would have his routine. He'll have oats and then he'll go to the allotment. Right. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot. And then my grandma would make me breakfast, and then 12:30 she'll say, do you want lunch? And then she'll say, do you want dinner? And then maybe in the evening she might say, she used to call it, do you want a little supper or whatever. Okay. So there was a lot of structure, and it was very peaceful, and
especially for a 4-year-old.
Yeah, of course.
Important.
And like a lot of relatives used to come round, so it was very family orientated. And then I feel like when I moved, and me and my mum we got a place in North London. That's when things got a bit, do you know what I'm saying? It got a bit, I'm not going to go into it too much, but it got a bit complicated, and there was probably things happen that maybe it's not the best thing for a young boy to see.
Is that more like a turbulent household?
Yeah. It wasn't a stable household. And obviously big up my mum, because she's a G. She done a lot, but it wasn't a stable household. And I feel like a lot of things happened when I was younger, over the course of about 3 to 4 years maybe, where things were happening and you kind of have to go to school in the morning, like straight after. So I got into a habit of like what I thought and what I felt, I would kind of compress it.
Wow. Okay.
So I would go into like things will happen, and I would have to go into school like maybe that morning or the next day, and kind of just
firm it,
compress everything, and just crack on and play in the playground. And then when you go home, it might be, you know what I'm saying, you kind of I felt like primary school, maybe I might have been kind of living in worry a lot. So things could happen in the house in the morning or whatever, and then you go to school, and then when I'm looking at the clock in school and it's getting to like 3:00, maybe where other kids might be looking forward to going home and playing PlayStation, or they might be going to the park or going to their friend's house.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried and kind of scared to go home sometimes. So I feel like that,
because you just don't know what kind of environment you're gonna walk into.
Of course, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So I feel like from my early years, it was a lot of it went from really settled and really
peaceful,
happy and peaceful and all of that stuff to the opposite end of the scale, and it was kind of.
Do you think that kind of shaped your personality going into kind of like your young man kind of teenagehood? Like as in that's primary school, you've kind of got that worry. I can relate because I grew up in, I don't want to go into it either, but like quite like a violent, aggressive environment at home. And I, even as a child, I used to suffer, because they say like emotions you carry as physical ailments as well. So I used to suffer from a lot of tummy aches, and that's because I was always worried and anxious, and it would kind of be in.
And I've got a lot of problems with my belly as well, even from years.
So when you're young and if you feel worried, you kind of get a bellyache, right? So that's kind of like where it stems from. And do you feel like going into secondary school, so you're now year 7, you're kind of 12, and you're a boy in North London, like how did that shape your personality going into your kind of young adulthood? I feel like you were quite naughty as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I used to get in trouble a bit, but I feel, do you know what happened? It got me into like a tricky routine of not showing how I felt.
Okay.
So I got used to not talking about how I felt, because obviously when I was younger, I kind of had to compress everything. So as I got older, I got into a habit of just knowing how I felt, but just compressing it and not talking about it. And I'll probably act out in different ways. Like I'll probably get into a fight or something, or do something outrageous, and it kind of got me into that routine, which obviously wasn't good, but that's where that stuff from when I was younger followed me into secondary school.
What was your kind of vibe like growing up in your area? Like what we work with young people, we know the kind of stuff that happens now.
Yeah.
How would you describe like your vibe in the area as a teenager?
In my area as a teenager, a lot of the parents did used to say to me that I had a big influence over like the kids in my area.
Okay. Wait, what a bad influence?
Kind of bad. Influence? Not all kids, because I didn't roll with every single one, but my circle that I did roll with, I remember one of my brethren's mums used to always say that like if something happened, she would come out and shout at me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She like her son could do it. He could do the mad thing as well, but she would come out and shout at me.
It was
and
your
say,
fault.
"Yeah, it's because he's with you. Da, da, da.
Right.
This is why. Stay away from my picnic." Da, da, da.
Right.
So I used to get told I was like an influence, and
so Chelsea wasn't wrong when they put you down as influencer. Really?
I guess so.
That's funny.
But that's what I used to get told a lot.
Okay, so we've gone into like now, say your 20s.
Yeah.
Obviously you when did you start doing music stuff actually?
So I started doing music stuff when I was about,
because you said you got into it quite late.
I started DJing early.
Okay,
so
right.
when I was younger, I got into it when I was about 15 or something.
Okay.
I remember I got a phone, and it was a gift. I got a phone for a gift, and I swapped it for a pair of decks with Chris Watts. Big up Chris Watts.
Big up Chris Watts.
I swapped the phone for decks. So then I had decks in my room.
That's a fair swap.
I feel like I bumped him really.
I was going to say that's a good swap.
I actually bumped him.
I would definitely swap my phone for decks now.
Yeah, exactly. So I swapped for decks.
Right.
I didn't really do much research on it, but I knew I wanted to DJ, so I got the decks. The decks are in my house, and then I realized that you need amps and for some reason I just didn't think about it. I don't know why I thought that you just get decks, plug them in,
vinyl, right?
and like music starts playing out the deck. I don't know what I thought, but anyway, I realized that I needed an amp, so I saved up some money. Like I saved up lunch money, so I didn't eat lunch for like a couple of weeks.
Wow.
Because I went and bought an amp, and then I realized after that I needed a mixer.
Right.
So I raised some money, got a mixer, and then I started buying records and stuff. So I started DJing. So for a while, my house was the house where everyone used to come and do like bedroom sets.
Oh, that's sick.
So that was mine.
So when you were DJing at 15, this is the time obviously where grime started really kicking off, right? And getting made. Yeah. So everyone was MCing at your house.
Yeah.
But you weren't MCing.
Do you know what? I used to write lyrics sometimes, but when I was younger, my voice was a bit squeaky, so I wasn't really on it.
Okay.
So I said, maybe this rapping thing's not for me. I felt like my voice was going to stay squeaky forever, like for the rest of my life. So I said, this is mad. I feel like my voice broke bare late as well. So, I said, nah, this squeaky thing, it's not really. If you know me, I'm a man now. I've got a lot of pride. I got a big ego sometimes, so my pride said, nah, this squeaky thing, my brother, this is not it.
Okay.
Plus,
also
I felt like MCs had like a lot of attention as well. So I thought,
and that goes back to you.
Yeah, so I said, let me just be a DJ behind the scenes. So yeah, my house was the house where everyone used to come and MC, and trust me, you know, like when my mum comes in, the room smells like bare boys, you know?
Yeah. Do you know what? My cousin's room was like that. I'd go there. His house was the house with the decks. And I just used to smell like, imagine like rinsed PE kits. I used to walk in and my aunt used to make everyone take their shoes off.
Yeah.
So all you could smell was boys' socks and the sweat, like PE kit. It just
when
boys
are young, when you're in our teens, man, we sweat a lot, man.
Honestly, and I was like the only girl in there, and I was like, why am I here? And I used to always want to hear them MC, so I used to like proper firm it. Yeah, it was so butters.
And that was my room.
Right. Okay. Great.
So I remember my mom, when everyone was gone, like my mom would storm into the room, open all the windows, draw the curtain.
That's so funny. I would do that. Can't lie. So
sometimes she'll do it when people were there.
What in front? Do you know what?
Yeah, or like she'll do like little things like.
A point.
She'll do little things where we're all in my room, but you'll hear spraying right outside my bedroom door.
Just in case the boys didn't know they smell.
Yeah. Just to make her trust.
So you're DJing, the boys were MCing, you're going into your 20s now.
Yeah.
What was the point for you in your 20s where you were like, did you know what you want to do? Did you know you want to be an MC? What did you want to go into? Because your love of football comes into play.
Yeah, do you know what? So that was a tricky time. So I reckon probably about 17, I quit DJing because I said, there's no P in this. This is long. And you know, you're getting to the age where you're 16, 17, people are buying cars. Right. You know, your friends are getting cars, and there's just like, you get that kind of pressure in it. You start dating girls, and then even the girls have an expectation. Right. So
you need to buy chicken and chips.
You have to have money for chicken and chips.
Pay for their bus ride.
Trust me, they don't even want the McDonald's Big Mac meal and all that. That's
not
big
a Happy
P
Meal.
them times. Yeah. So
the guy's like, do you want the super size? Yes, please. And you're like, not another 60p.
I had man them that got cars from young, styling on me, pulling up when it's raining outside.
Right.
Just, little things like that.
Yeah, and that's pressure for young boys as well. Like you guys are kind of expected to be balling in the ends from young.
And if anyone that knows me, I'm a man that I put a lot of expectation on myself, like a lot. Like I don't mean to do it, but I just naturally just put like a lot of pressure on myself. So I always feel like I should be doing this, doing that. So when I got to that age, I said, this music, it's not really, wasn't really paying. So I kind of got into some other things.
What other things?
So basically, to be honest with you, by the time I was 17, I had said to myself, okay, I want to be the biggest drug dealer in the ends.
Okay.
Literally.
Right.
If I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
That was...
We want you to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do at the time.
Yeah. I mean, selling drugs, drug dealing, shotting, whatever you want to call it. It's not uncommon.
Yeah.
Like in our area that we grow up in, but it depends to the level you take it and if you get in trouble for it. And obviously, I think everyone wants to be able to provide and to make quick money.
Yeah. Literally, that's what I wanted to do. And I feel like even when I was younger, obviously, we didn't have like the most money. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I got tired of hearing no, we can't do this, or no, we can't afford this, that. Do you know what I'm saying? When you get told that for a long time, you get to the point where I kind of got fed up of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Was you playing football at this time?
I was playing before that.
Oh, okay.
So I was playing.
So you were playing early?
Yeah, I was playing early, but obviously I was bare short.
Yeah, that's mad. You were short because you're really tall now.
I know. So I was short, so that didn't work out.
Okay.
Big up my height. But you know what? As soon as I stopped playing, I grew. That's why I was fuming. I should have went back and said, yo.
Yeah.
Man's tall now.
Why didn't you? Because you had
my
this
pride.
Vision of
you know my pride.
Right, okay.
Like, I can't.
Okay. So you know when you said you decided that you want to be the biggest drug dealer in North London?
Probably
or all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was young.
Generally. When you were young, we're talking about you're still just under 20.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What? I know this is so nuts, because so I'm asking in a way because I wanted money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like a Persian girl from like another. People around me were shot in. Close people around me.
Yeah.
And like, I never like lay back and thought it was an option for me. So was you, like, do you know what I mean? I'm just thinking like, was you just strolling home and just thought, you know what, let me do this? Like, where did you learn it from? Was you seeing people around?
There was older people that were around me.
That you saw had stuff?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah.
It was?
And there was close people in my family that were doing it. That was like a big influence.
Right.
Kind of didn't push me into it, but kind of.
You saw it as an option.
Yeah, a very easy option. Like that was how it was presented was, this is the best option for you right now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where that happened. And I know it's uncommon for people to have family members maybe course them into that way of living. Yeah. So I know, but yeah. Yeah,
so that's what I was wondering, like so the consequence of that. Where are we now? How old are you?
How old was I? I was about probably about 23. And do you know what? I had a good run for a while.
Okay, that's good.
Do you know what? I had a good run for a while.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think anyone should be persecuted or looked down on, or we know like doing illegal things is wrong, and of course there's punishments for things, etc. In terms of entrepreneurship and being resourceful and having a business mind, I have to rate it. And it's an unusual statement. I don't advocate anyone, or obviously we're mentors for young people.
Yeah.
It's not a route to go down. I just feel like if someone unfortunately did go down that route, I do feel like there is a level of resourcefulness and entrepreneurship that comes with it that can be then applied to legit ways and good business things that come from it.
There's skills I learned from doing that kind of that I kind of carried
right
into what I do now. So you do meet a lot of different people, and you do learn how to talk to a lot of different people. Like there's certain like negotiation skills that you might need.
Math,
even like work ethic.
right,
Like it's definitely not a thing that you do if you're lazy, really.
It's
to
not
like
easy
to get the best out of what you're doing at that time, you definitely have to be very active. So there's a lot of things that I kind of learnt from that game, and that's benefited me now.
But the consequence of it, which is would you say that was a turning point for you? What did you,
even
what
though
happened?
I was making good money, and maybe I feel like a lot of people maybe that I was around them times maybe thought I wasn't, but because I'm not really a flashy guy, I wasn't chains and all of that. That's not really it's not really me. But the consequences of it was a lot. Like you don't have peace of mind. So I didn't have peace of mind for a long time. I used to go to bed like after 7 a.m. because I used to feel like my house was gonna get raided at any time. So when it got past like 6:30 and I thought, oh, maybe feds are not coming, then I could rest. You know what I'm saying?
That's mad.
You have like a lot of trust issue things with friends. Like obviously when you're making money on the streets, it comes with hate and jealousy, which can cause other problems. And then at the same time, like,
and these are each thing that you said, they're really massive emotional negative stuff. So like not trusting friends is huge. It's not even like something you can say in passing. Not being able to sleep because you have anxiety that your house is raided, like that peace of mind every single night. As a human, we're guaranteed we need to sleep.
I didn't,
so
to be fair,
crazy.
it was either like police or maybe like man them or whatever I thought would come in my yard or whatever, to the point where I never felt safe in my yard, which probably meant why I would spend less time at home, but I never felt safe in my yard for ages, and do you know what I'm saying, every day when I used to go sleep, I used to like say a prayer, do you know what I'm saying, or I'd wake up in the morning, I'd be brushing my teeth, and then I'd think, rah, today could be the day where I either get grabbed or something else happens, you know what I'm saying. Like I used to look in the mirror, because there's a mirror in my bathroom, and I'll be brushing my teeth and I'll be looking at myself thinking, rah, like today could be the day where something crazy happens. And obviously I've known a lot of people that's passed away. In some cases, some of the people that may have passed away, I might have spoken to them like hours before.
Oh my God,
and I always used to have in my head like, rah, when he died, like 2 hours before that, he had no idea that was about to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So a man might even call me and say, Rob, what you on for the day, bro? And do you know what I'm saying? But a man don't even know that his fate's kind of...
That's insane.
So I always used to have that in my mind. So I feel like as much as I was maybe a bit paranoid and didn't feel safe, I was always grateful for every night and every morning that I woke.
It kind of makes you live in the present moment in a way. So what happened that you stopped?
So
and then went into a successful musical career.
There was like a mad operation going on with the feds, and a group of us got grabbed. One morning the feds obviously did come, and do you know what's the maddest thing? The day when the feds did raid my house and whatever, they ran in, police. The maddest thing is I wasn't even surprised.
Because you've been expecting
I wasn't even surprised. I was just like,
this is the day.
I knew this day was gonna come. So I wasn't, even when I got to the police station and that, I was just kind of like, boy, you know what I'm saying? You live a certain way. This is part of the parcel. So just got to man up and firm it.
Right. So what happened next?
So I ended up, what happened? I got bail, and then something else happened, and I got arrested again. And then I remember, then I got bail again. So I was on bail for 2 things, and then I went to court for like a a hearing, whatever, and they took it to Crown Court, and then went through the process of court. Anyway, I had to go guilty because it was a bit mad.
Wow. So you knew whatever happens, you're gonna do jail time.
My solicitor said, listen, there's no way this.
Wow.
So it's best that you just, you know what I'm saying? So the maddest thing is, so I've gone, obviously I hadn't been to jail or nothing like that before, so I didn't really know the system in depth. So I thought where I go guilty, I would go straight to jail. So I went guilty, and then they bailed me, whatever, to return back to get sentenced.
Okay.
So they put me on tag. So my solicitor said, you're definitely going to jail. So I remember I was at home for 3 weeks on tag, just counting down the days. And that, out of everything that had happened, that was the most, that one was tricky.
What, trickier than going to jail?
Yeah, I thought that was tricky.
Is that because you're like waiting on your fate, basically?
Yeah. So at first I thought, okay, 3 weeks, I got time, I can pattern a few things. The time was going so fast. I've never experienced time.
I thought you were gonna say slow.
No, the time was going.
Okay.
I thought I've never experienced time move so fast. The time was going so fast. So I said, okay, cool. I got 3 weeks. Before I knew it, it was 2 weeks. Then it was 1 week. Then it was 2 days. Then it was 1 day. Then it was 6 hours. So it was
like you was running out of time.
I was running out of time. Then it was 6 hours. And then it was half an hour. And then I was there and it was 10 minutes. I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, and then that was it, really. Just
before you were getting sentenced, like, what was your feeling? Like, what was your thoughts? Did you just think, oh, this is gonna be like light work or quick, or were you like, oh my God, what have I done? Or like, what was you like?
Where I knew already for 3 weeks before, I was kind of, my mind was already prepared, but I feel like I'm a realistic person anyway, so I always knew through the years that this is something that could happen. So I kind of prepared my mind already. Obviously I didn't know what it was going to be like, but yeah.
When you were in jail, did you have a turning point in jail? Did you feel like when you come out, because there's bare people that go jail, and then they'll come out and they'll carry on doing the same thing. I feel like you came out and then you had a really successful musical career. Was that planned or
no?
What?
So one night I was in there and it was like 2 a.m. Something was on TV. I wasn't really watching it. Anyway, I was laying down, and then I just sat up one day and I said, if I die tomorrow, what are they gonna remember me for? And I was thought, what are they gonna say at my funeral? He was a good drug dealer. What, he was always on time. Like, do you know what I'm saying? He had good product. Like, oh my God. He had mad crep. Like,
no, for real.
Like what? Yeah. And I've got two little brothers and a little sister.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, this is kind of bummy. Do you know what I'm saying? I got 2 little brothers and a little sister.
Yeah.
And their older brother, like the person that they're supposed to go to and their influence and for guidance, I'm just here like a bum, just sitting in jail, like getting told when I can, do you know what I'm saying, do things. And
you're someone who doesn't want to.
Yeah, and I don't really like being told what to do either.
Right, yeah.
So that was a proper turning point. And then I remember I came out and I went on Facebook,
Yeah.
My little sister was young. Yeah, she was kind of young these times.
Yeah.
She might have been about 11 or something.
Yeah.
And I saw a message from her,
Yeah.
And it was just like, I can't remember it like word for word, but it was just like, I love you, big bro. You always been there. I know what happened, but I don't. She was just saying that she doesn't judge me for it, basically.
Aww.
And do you know what I'm saying? She'll always be proud of me. Like, and I saw that message and I was just like, man, like, I wish like she could feel like this, like about positive things, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
yeah. And
that helped change my mind state as well. So there was like little things along the way.
Right. Wow. Okay, so now you've got into music.
Yeah.
So you've released your first single.
Yeah.
We're fast forwarding to that.
Okay, so what happened? I went studio with a friend I was doing little songs before I went jail, but I never put anything out.
Right.
I was one of them, man. You know.
Yeah.
Like people used to, like my brethren and that used to say I was hard, but I was one of them, man. I was.
Yeah. Do you know what? I always find the sickest rappers are them, man. Like that.
Yeah, I was just like, when am I rapping? Like I remember I'll be hustling and do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm putting music out, man.
Yeah.
What, snitching on myself? Do you know?
Yeah, I get you.
So I was just like, I always used to say, leave the rap to the rappers, man.
Right.
So anyway, I went to studio with a friend, and his name's Wardot. Obviously, I've known him since I was young, and he made a beat, and I just jumped on it on like a random one in the studio, literally. And then I had this tune, so I had this song. I said, this tune's alright. It was a 140 beat, but it was like a trappy kind of thing. So I was just like, this thing's alright. So I sent it to one of my brethrens, and he said it's hard as well. So he sent it to there was a guy called Hijia, and he had this SoundCloud page called Grime Forum, yeah. So my friend has sent it to him, yeah, and the guy said it's cold. I didn't even have a SoundCloud at this point. I didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
So this brother's put it on his SoundCloud page, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't even know he's put it as like some compilation thing of like, it was like 10-track compilation, and then I think Jamal Edwards was gonna pick the best track from it. I didn't know all this. I didn't know none of this.
Right.
So anyway, Jamal Edwards has picked that song out for, like he said, it was the hardest track.
Okay.
And it was on SoundCloud now, and it was building traction, and it was getting a couple views and that. So I was just like, rah, this is mad.
Right.
I said, alright, cool. So bare people were hitting me up saying, rah, you should make more music. So I went and made another song. That was alright. Made another song. It was alright. And I started doing like the pirate radio rounds.
Okay.
Because do you know what? That song, I didn't even have it down as a grime song. It was just kind of like a traffy kind of flow.
It just happened to be 140.
Yeah, then they stole me.
Okay. Grime stole
you. They stole me.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? If I'm getting love over here, like, let me just try it. Let me just try, innit? So I started doing like the radio circuit, and there was a couple of us doing it. So it was Nico Lindsay was there, YGG PK and that was there, AJ Tracy was there, Big Zoo, like there was a couple, man, like Stormzy done a couple sets with us, like just like there was just bare people just trying to cut through. And then
because before you Grime stole you, what rap was you listening to? Was you listening to grime, or was you listening to other genres? Like me personally, I was listening to like rap, like hip hop, rap before grime.
Yeah, I used to DJ grime when I was DJing.
In your room,
But then I used to kind of never used to keep up with it much.
Okay.
So I used to listen to like more rap. I was like a Styles P man.
Yeah.
D Block. So
yeah.
Raw
that
rap. Was biting. Yeah, that's what I was on.
Okay.
Mobb Deep, all of that.
Yeah. Sick.
I was on that. That's what I used to listen to.
Okay.
And some UK rappers as well. I was listening to as well. But I used to like tap in here and there. Like I used to listen to a few things here and there. So when I did start doing grime, I kind of didn't really know a lot of what was going on. I didn't really know who was who. But I was just kind of, I was just doing my own. Yeah, I was just doing my own thing, man. Literally, I was just doing my own thing, and I was surprised at myself as well, because considering how I am, radio sets are there's a lot of people there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of loud voices in the room that you talked about earlier. Yeah.
But I feel like I was maybe like one of the most prominent voices, maybe one of anyway. Yeah. For some reason.
Yeah.
But it was that's what I was doing.
'Cause it's interesting in terms of like, I have noticed in grime, especially grime at the moment as well. I know you do other genres a lot. You do real rap, you do kind of wavy, chilled, lo-fi hip hop. Like, I think that's one of the things I always rated about you. I thought your pattern was very unique and your delivery was very different from the kind of grime, you know, the shouty grime that I was like, I was kind of more used to.
Yeah.
But I do, it's mad because I feel like in grime now, it's almost like this, I don't know if it's because the genre has been taken over by drill and like trap or like auto-tune vibe or whatever. There's definitely a vibe. I don't know if you agree. I feel like there's a vibe with grime where a lot of the forefront people or artists, I feel like there's two things. I feel like they're very stuck in what was successful before, nostalgia and trying to keep that now, which is not always a bad thing, but you do have to adapt. And I also feel like there's a lot of clout and a lot of people trying to be controversial or have their personalities come through over high quality music or putting on really amazing events or being like really creative, where I feel like the other genres have been able to. I don't know if it's because of the lack of money pumped into it. I don't know if it's because labels aren't taking grime artists on as much. I don't know if it's just the people in them. Do you, and for someone like yourself who you're saying like you're not a shouter, like you're quite humble and you're quite introverted and stuff, but you haven't ever been caught up in any of that nonsense, and you've always maintained being a bit of a, I think everyone kind of knows you as a bit of a mystery man in it kind of thing, like we don't know when you're gonna pop up, but you'll suddenly release a banger. You don't do anything online, and like you hate social media, it seems. So how have you managed to stay successful and relevant without participating in all of that stuff? How do you do it, basically? And any advice like for artists, like?
Boy, sometimes I'm trying to figure it out myself, but I don't know, you know. I feel I've done like quite a few things within the genre. So I've had like some big tunes. Like I had a tune called Lift, and I feel like a lot of the stuff I haven't released much of recent, maybe like the last couple of years, but I feel like in the years when I was active, I was doing like a lot of stuff. So I had a tune called Lift, and whereas I didn't really understand the music game as much, I thought to myself, how can I get this song out there? I remember I was thinking, how can I get this song out there? There's no label, there's no marketing, whatever. What do I do? So what I did is, I had the acapella, and I released the acapella. Literally, so I released the song and I released the acapella straight away. I didn't even let them breathe. So I said, DJs, like, just go do your thing, remix the song. And Lift literally had thousands of remixes. So, and I know that there's producers that have fan bases, innit? Like you might not even have heard the original. There's people that haven't even heard the original Lift. But they've heard my man's bass remix and this lo-fi remix. And there was just bare remixes of it. So I feel like that was a good way I used to get the tune out there, because there was remixes from different countries, like Americans done remix literally everywhere. I feel like if you're a producer in Grammy, you didn't remix Lift, are you really a grime producer?
I love that. So do you think a good piece of advice in that sense is, so you created a community, you created a community of producers and DJs to get involved and like to collabo with you in a way? That
there was that, because I've done that with a few tunes, and then I'm a man, I like to collab, innit? Like obviously I can do tunes by myself, but
it's not as fun.
Bit boring, innit? Like,
I hear you.
I feel like you don't want to hear 3 minutes of me for like, do you know what I'm saying? 10 tracks. So I like to collab. So I done like a lot of collabs with like a lot of the prominent members in the scene. So got tunes with like D Double, like P Money, obviously me and Jamie, Frisco Shorty, we done the EP, done bare tunes with Big Zoo. So like I've done like loads of like collaborative tunes, and I feel like I did always feel like I would like to see like more collabs in that genre.
Yeah.
Less clashing. Like I would, if it was down to me, I would definitely say like maybe less clashing, and the man them and the gal them just make songs together.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I would put. That's what I do anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I noticed you do that, and I think I really like. I always say to myself, like, I feel like the American lot that make trap music, like them lot, they do such a good job of that, and they've raised each other's profiles so well because of it. Yeah. Why don't you have management? I know a lot of people wonder this.
Yeah.
How come you haven't had for the position that you're in? What? Is it because you don't like someone telling you what to do?
It's not even that, you know.
But
do you know what?
I guess managers
a little bit, but it's not that. It's not that.
They're supposed you always say they're supposed to work for you.
Yeah, I know that. Obviously, I'm aware that at a certain stage it's beneficial. So I do know. I've had like meetings with like managers and stuff, and to be honest with you, like I've had people say that like obviously I'm not big enough in music. I've had managers say that they don't have time for me, like they've got bare other acts, and then like I've had a few managers say that they don't have time, and then they take on other acts after, so like it hurts a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've had like a lot of in music. It hasn't been straight running. I've had like a lot of jumps. I've had successes, but then behind the scenes, what a lot of people don't know, I've had like a lot of like, do you know what I'm saying? You're not this, and you know what I'm saying?
I think there's a part of music that everybody says you have to be quite thick-skinned and have a strong heart to do music. Yeah. I've seen a lot of mental health issues within music. You see people having breakdowns on Twitter and stuff like that. I've been in positions where I feel a little bit let down, or
of course.
You grind and then you don't get something that you feel like you kind of earn it. So you do have to have that. In your sense, like do you feel like you have like, is it a love-hate relationship with music? Do you feel like do you feel like it just doesn't suit some personalities? Like, is it that I have noticed a lot that there's artists I would never think would be doing certain topics or adverts or things doing it. And I know everyone is trying to get that bag. Like everyone's trying to secure money and have financial stability. But, you know, there's points in life where you say no, or you don't participate in something where you're looking a certain way. How have you found that? What's been your biggest letdown, and what's been your biggest win?
Okay, so a big letdown for me, and luckily enough for me, I'm strong-minded and I've got thick skin. I'm tough, innit, mentally. But one of the biggest letdowns that I had is when I got nominated for a MOBO. So usually, which
is a massive win.
So it was it was a tricky situation because I felt like it was my biggest success, but then it was also one of the most difficult times because where I got nominated, I was gassed. Cool. I had bare people like were saying, obviously some of the names that was there obviously are more established than me, but I got a lot of why is Capo there? Capo, who put Capo in there? What the hell? Capo Lee, this
I didn't know you were gonna say that at all.
Capo, this is rigged. Why is Capo bare? I had bare of that. There was bare of that. Like I used to look at bare comments.
Like they weren't seeing your millions of
and
streams.
then I would see like
by yourself,
and then I would see like acts in grime and that, like because it was a grime award I was nominated for. Like, who even cares about this award? The award shows are this. No one cares about. I remember I saw someone.
I'm assuming they weren't nominated.
Yeah, I see someone post that they had been nominated, and I was seeing comments like, "Oh, we don't care about these awards around here. It's just for them, man. Industry, commercial." You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of negative comments about me.
Okay.
And I'm a man where, bro, I mind my own business, you know.
Right.
I don't even get involved in no one's mix up.
You
so
really don't.
let me get a little nomination, and you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I was thinking, I don't even. The people that were saying things, I know them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know them, and I thought, rah, this is very, very, very cheeky. Do you know what I'm saying? This is very cheeky.
Yeah.
And especially where I feel like I was going in for like 5 years. I was shooting sick no one weren't shooting videos like me.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple, but not a lot of people were shooting videos like to the quality of my videos. I was doing bare shows. I was releasing all the time. My tunes were mixed properly. Like, I was going in. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything I was supposed to be doing, I was doing it right. Do you know what I'm saying? I done the whole radio path. Do you know what I'm saying? I done all of that. So I felt like
you deserved your flowers.
I didn't even win the award, you know.
This was just for being a nominee.
Just for being nominated. I didn't even win the award, you know. So I was thinking, it kind of made me stand back from people a lot. Like, obviously, I still make grand music, but from that, I don't really mix with people. There's like a few people I chat to, but the majority, I don't really chat to no one still. From that, I just thought, this is mad. And even the mobile awards have come out again. I'm seeing the same thing. Yeah. So I thought, right, it's not just me. Like,
I feel like it doesn't happen so much in other genres as well.
Sometimes, no. Do you know what? Where like, if there's a scene where there's 100 rappers and only 5 get nominated, not a lot of people, but there's always there's always gonna be people that are fans more of the 95. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I just took it personal because it was people I knew that were chatting shit.
Yeah, of course.
Like, and man are making videos and doing bare things saying, why not me? It's dead, bro.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't do that to no one.
No, I know.
Never. If someone was nominated for an award that I wasn't nominated for, I can promise you, I would never be in a comment saying, "Raw, how come to that?" I don't do that. I don't.
Do you know what I always think with like things like that? When I see man online in Twitter,
sneaky, bro.
No, listen. When I see man online in Twitter Spaces, when I see like people in people's comments on Instagram and stuff, I just look at them, and I'm not no names. I'm gonna say some of these mans have been in my DMs and stuff before, and I always think to myself, you're someone's man. That's all I ever think. I just think, imagine your man is sitting on the sofa in front of like a football game and he's trolling in someone's comments. Ew. Yeah, that's all I think. It's just so mad. That's how I always like see it, you know? So also, I know you said you love collabos.
Yeah.
I know you've brought a lot of people in and helped a lot of people, put people on. I've met people that are like, oh, I'm a producer because of Capo, or I got this brand deal because of Capo, or do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like even me doing this podcast, like you introduced me, you know? So like actually it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
You do have a tendency to bring people in.
Mm-hmm.
There are people in music. I would like to say, and there are people in creative industries, the music industry and music, that are kind and that are generous, and they do a lot for people. They do actually exist. It's not all bad. There is like that crabs in a bucket mentality with certain things as well. What have you found that? Did you have someone putting you on, or did you kind of do that because you didn't have it and you want to bring people on? Because for me, that's why I got into youth mentoring. I never had any help, and I always was like, oh my God, like I didn't even have an older sibling. I'm the eldest, so I never had any help with anything, and I had to learn everything myself and navigate everything myself. And I did have really nice, a few people around me, like really nice friends that like booked me for gigs or helped me with my confidence or put me on. But I didn't have any mentorship, which is why I wanted to do youth mentoring. The way you've put loads of people on and brought people in, like what was your kind of drive behind that?
I feel like if I had people around me that was maybe an influence into something positive that I actually wanted to do, I feel like certain decisions I wouldn't have made. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I feel, and as well, even now to this day, I feel like when I was younger, early 20s, I feel like I wasted a lot of time.
Okay.
Like, it kind of bothers me like on a regular basis, but I feel like I wasted a lot of time just doing, you know what I'm saying? Just.
Do you feel like it's a regret?
Not a regret, because obviously it's made me who I am today.
Right,
but
okay, yeah.
I could easily have not.
Yeah.
Like, if I had a choice, right. I would easily chop that bit out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But obviously, no, I don't regret anything. Yeah. So I feel like it's important for young people to have positive male influences in their life, because even like some of the young people we work with, like some of the boys that we work with, a lot of them don't have good relationships with their dads. Yeah. Some of them don't have big brothers or big uncles that invest time into making sure they're cool and showing them the right path. And if I can be that to some young people along the line, then it's amazing. Even like some of the girls we work with, like, you know, there's like a stigma about men online, but it's
men are trash.
Yeah, all of that and icks and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like if I can show them that, like, you know what I'm saying, there are like older guys around that like
good people.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and they see me working with them and working with the boys, so I just try to show people a different side, innit, that there's good people as well. Do you know what I'm saying? That actually care and will invest time into them. Because a lot of the young people, a lot of the things that I've had said to me is that, rah, you're an artist, whatever, you should be busy. I can't believe that you're here with me on a Saturday. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
I'll go into like a youth center like on a Saturday for 5 hours just to speak to 3 kids.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of them, whatever, are always shocked that I've just me going to spend time with them. I could sit there in silence and say nothing and just listen to them run around, do madness. But just when as humans, we all like people to invest time and, do you know what I'm saying? And
it's so true.
Make effort, and we all like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So especially for like young people, it means a lot to them, man.
Yeah. I think it's so important because seeing a busy artist, like you're in the middle of touring and then you'll go and run a session somewhere or someone invites you down. If there's been a problem in a school, I've seen you literally have like loads of things to do and have a tour on, and there's an issue in like a Pru where the teachers asked you to come extra, no pay, nothing, and you've gone down to sort out a problem. And I think that's why I get really passionate, where I've invited, believe it or not, some very prominent artists and asked them, because I've seen them make money off young drillers, young rappers. I've literally invited them, hi, can you come and do a guest talk? It would be amazing to have you. We've had this person. And they're all going on like they're making 100K an hour. And they've literally said, I don't know if I can fit it in. What's the fee? And I've even literally offered out of my own money. I've said, I'll pay you £300 to come down to speak to some of our young people. And they're like, nah, that's not nowhere near enough. And I'm like, bro, do you know I can screenshot these messages? Like, are you serious? Like, and I've been in shock at like the lack of care from artists in the scene to younger people coming up, or just being more generous with their time. And I've been like, it takes me days to get over it. I can't actually believe like what they're like. It really gets to me. I just try and like hold it down. But I think it's really important to give back and bring people in without kind of wanting that reciprocation. Like,
obviously there are some artists that literally like will come down, like even from when we done Out the Box. We had like sick people, like Kenny All-Star came, Spiral came, like there was Suspect came.
And they came and stayed well beyond their time. Like,
But it would be a lot better if there was like a lot more artists took the time out, because a lot of their fan bases are these young people. Do you know what I'm saying? When they're putting on, I've heard like the young people talk about some of these artists when they're putting on shows, it's these young people that are buying your tickets.
100%.
Like when you're putting on shows, these youths are buying your tickets and they're telling their brethren to buy your tickets as well. So I feel like the least you can do is, you get me, just come and spend time with some of the people that's, do you know what I'm saying, putting that, do you know what I'm saying, rolly on your arm. Like the least you can do, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's like young people, they don't have a lot of money.
No,
they don't have bare money. Like money's tight.
They have their zip card.
Yeah, they don't have bare money, but they're willing to, you get me, spend their last £20 to come and see you at your concert. So I feel like the least you could do is come and say hi. Like it's not hard. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You go link all these Insta baddies and go and say hi. But you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But the young people in your own community, like. So, but each to their own, innit? And if that's how, some people are different, some people have different morals.
Yeah, no,
innit?
I don't think each to their own with this subject.
I know, I hear you, but you can't.
No, I get you.
I know if you could, you would drag them by their hair, but you can't. So you just have to just. But you have to just leave them to it.
So, what's your relationship with music right now? Like, how do you feel about music?
How do I feel about it? I like it. Do I love it?
You've dropped a single.
I know.
Did really well. It's hard. You got another single coming out.
Yeah.
You've got 100 shows before Christmas booked in.
Couple. Couple.
Yeah, I think more like 12.
Something like that.
I see your poster.
Yeah, you made it.
So, honestly,
I like music. Do I love it? Sometimes. Sometimes I don't, to be honest with you. And I feel like the reason why sometimes I do fall out of love with music is because it's everything that's happening around the music. Like I can make tunes like and rap bars. That's not the issue. It's everything around. You know what I'm saying? So even like this EP I want to drop, when I've showed it to like certain people and at certain places, in offices, a lot of the people, it's kind of like a chilled, it's like not really hype. It's kind of different to what I would usually do. I've been getting a lot of, why don't you try a drill song, or have you got a sample that you could use in a drill beat? You know what I'm saying? So I get a lot of, this EP's sick, but can you make X, Y, Z? Do you know what I'm saying? Or whatever's popular now. And I feel like, to be honest with you, to be very honest with you, like over like the last couple months or whatever, when I've showed new music or whatever, I've got a lot of this is sick, but, and it feels like a lot of rejection sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So when you get rejection from like, especially like music you believe in, like when you make music's like your babies. You know what I'm saying? Like you write the bars, you get the beat together, and then you package it, you know what I'm saying? Like you put the clothes on it, you know what I'm saying? Little baby hat, you know what I'm saying? And then imagine someone says to you, "Oh, your kid's ugly," you know what I'm saying?
Right, of course.
Like, so it kind of hurts a little bit.
Do you feel like that's because you're so like renowned for, like, you're so renowned for being in grime and making really hype beats, and labels like to box you in something? Maybe
it might, but I always thought that the whole point of having record labels and DJs is to champion new music.
Of course it is, but I've noticed that that's changed, and I feel like that's why so many like audiences are getting sick of the same songs coming out. I've seen fans of music like that even rolling their eyes and being like, "Oh, not again."
Of course, but you know how it is, like it's like, and all it takes is for somebody to do it first and be successful, then it's a thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So there was,
because chilled rap, like lo-fi chilled drill rap, that's like actually coming in. They're just so behind.
Maybe, yeah.
Suddenly next year they're gonna be telling people that make drill, can you make this? Yeah. So I hear you.
But you can. There's been times where I've it's made me doubt myself a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm being a human being and being honest about it, like,
of course,
it's been times where I've kind of doubted like what I've made. You know what I'm saying? It's made me question, maybe this isn't, you know what I'm saying, levels, but
not but it is.
You kind of
yeah
gotta shake it off. Do you know what I'm saying? It's part of it.
Also, I think it takes like you have to be really strong-minded to be able to even say publicly or whoever you're speaking to that like I've had a few no's and it feels really shit.
Of course it
and
does.
you have to be really strong to say that. Otherwise, you're doing the thing that you said that you would do when you're 5 and like compress in feelings. Like it doesn't help with anything.
No one like there's no artist in the world that likes being told no. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
and all the big artist interviews and stuff you always see that they had so many doors shut.
Yeah, of course.
That makes the story even better for their turning point. You know?
Yeah, of course. No one wants something they've made to not feel good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can make someone dinner and do you know what I'm saying? If
they don't like it.
Do you know what I'm saying? You'll be analysing their face every chew. Do you know what I'm saying? Does
he like it? Do you
like it?
Do you know
what I'm saying? Imagine if you made someone food and the person said, nah, I don't really like this, you know.
Yeah, do you want to make maybe this instead?
Should we order McDonald's or something? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, no one likes to something that you've made to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not feel good enough, do you know what I'm saying? So, it's back to the normal grind, man. So,
I hear you.
That's how it goes.
So, just before we wrap up, what is your biggest lesson you've learned that you would pass on to not just another young artist, but just another human being? Like, what is a lesson that you've learned that you feel like you would pass on?
A lesson I've learned bare, you know.
Or your one that you feel like is most useful, like your most useful piece of advice.
For me, I feel like finding, it sounds cliche, but finding like inner happiness, because that's one of the hardest things to find, like to actually be like happy within yourself. Because I feel like when you're happy within yourself, everything else you do like glows, like everything's glowing, like you can just see like the happiness. Like you can make a song, and then even in a video you can see like someone's where they are in their life. You can see they're comfortable, and also feeling comfortable in your own mind as well. Because I think I probably said to you before that, like, aside from everything else, like your mind, that's your first home. That's like that's your real home. And if you're not comfortable in this home first, you will never be comfortable, or you won't be fully happy anywhere else.
It's so true.
So
because you live in your mind.
You live here. This is where you live.
Yeah.
Everywhere else you just stay and you just sleep.
Yeah.
But you actually live here.
Yeah.
So make sure you've got your L-shaped sofa in here. Your flat
that.
screen on the wall.
Yeah.
Your fresh carpet.
Yeah.
Make sure everything in your mind is comfortable, and literally that's what I found.
That's really beautiful and very, very true. Because then whatever you're doing, whether it's music or art or your 9 to 5 or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everything glows.
Yeah. I love that. That's such a nice way to end the podcast. Thank you so much
for
being a guest on The Turning Point. No, I really appreciate it. And thank you for being so open and so honest
I've never been that open. It's the first time.
Yeah. It's like one of those mystery artists that you finally get to hear an interview from, which is great. Yeah,
trust me.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I hope I don't come across too depressed though, because
No.
I am very happy. Like,
no, you're a fun person.
I'm a very happy guy.
I feel like my podcast is, because I'm asking like deeper questions, like things are gonna come up. I'm literally asking people their tragedies and their wins. So I can't imagine someone really happily telling me a tragedy.
No, I'm approachable. Trust me, I am.
You really are. Big up. Thank you.
Love.
Okay, bye.